The term intellectual property was used first in 1821 with the Luxembourg Intellectual Property Office being registered, but it was only later put into life when UN created the World Intellectual Property Organization, that is WIPO. Now an address how new technologies influence design. We'll have live connection to Marina Foski of the WIPO.
Introduce you, Mrs. Marina Foski, who is a Senior Legal Officer, Policy and Legislative Advice Section, Department for Trademarks, Industrial Design and Geographical Indications.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. Hadwan, for this introduction. I have prepared a PowerPoint, if it's possible to show it. Well, in the meantime, I will just recall that my presentation will deal with the impact of new technology on designs. Is it possible to have the first slide of my presentation on the screen? Okay, I'm waiting a little bit. So it's a very important topic and an emerging issue in the field of design that we will discuss together today. But I'd like to show you my slides to illustrate my different points. All right, I believe there is an issue with the presentation. No, it's there. Thank you so much. If it's possible to go immediately to the second slide, please. On the second slide of my presentation that will appear soon on the screen, you will see different design for products and design for packaging. On the second slide, please. And I will show you those different types of designs on that slide because for over a century, industrial design has focused on physical wares. Physical wares such as those that you will soon see on the screen, such as watches, furniture, cars. I believe there is still a problem with my presentation. Well, I'll go on anyway. And other kinds of products. You know that design is everywhere. Just look around you. Design is in every product that we use. And design also relates to the appearance of packaging for food and cosmetics, for instance. Then, in the latest few decades, new technological developments took place, and we often refer to it as the digital revolution. That revolution, thank you for the presentation. If you can go to the third slide, please. The next one, please. Thank you. So that revolution is referred to as the digital revolution. That revolution has led to the creation of new types of products, such as tablets, smartphones, and other kinds of devices. In addition to those new types of products that appeared on the market, new forms of media also appeared, namely the social media. They have changed our life and have an impact on design. With those design and social media came the need for and the creation of new technological designs, such as, on the next slide, please, icons. So they are used with mobile devices and allow you to get access to applications. You all know what an icon is. Or graphical user interfaces. It's a form of interface that allows you to interact with a device in a user-friendly way through graphics and to get some data and information. On the next slide, you will see another example of graphical user interface. And finally, those new technologies on the next slide have also led to the creation of design of lettering. This is called typeface or type font designs. Next slide, please. At the WIPO level, we are witnessing the increasing importance of those designs. Firstly, in discussions that take place within one of WIPO committee, the SCT. And secondly, in relation to the international registration system that is managed by WIPO. Next slide, please. Let's first see what's happening within the SCT. So as I mentioned, it's a WIPO committee. The full name of the committee is the Standing Committee on the Law of Trademarks, Industrial Designs, and Geographical Indications. Industrial design is one of the topics dealt with by the committee. The committee gathers member states of WIPO as well as observers, and it's a forum for discussions. Next slides, please. In 2016, 3 countries, namely Israel, Japan, and the United States of America, put forward a proposal concerning new technological designs, so graphical user interfaces, icon, typeface, and type font designs. They had noticed that this is the fastest growing type of industrial designs. They have therefore a significant impact from an economical point of view. In their document, the countries refer to a multi-billion-dollar global industry. At the same time, the way to protect them differs. In some countries, they are considered as industrial designs and are protected as such. However, there are divergences. And in general, there was a lack of information about their protection. For those reasons, the countries considered that there was a need to discuss the topic within the SCT. Next slide, please. So in 2017, the committee organized an information session on graphical user interfaces, icons, typeface, and type font designs, where IP offices were invited to present their practices and users their experience in protecting those designs. In addition to that information session, the committee issued 2 questionnaires on the topic, and Poland replied to those questionnaires. So if you are interested to know more about the protection of those new types of designs in Poland, I'll invite you to have a look at the questionnaires and the replies. And currently, there is a proposal pending within the SCT by the 3 countries from origin, so Israel, Japan, and the United States, as well as Canada and the United Kingdom, that decided to co-sponsor the proposal. That proposal focused mainly on graphical user interfaces and icons, and it's still in discussion within the committee. The discussion will go on at the next session. Next slide, please. So if you are interested in those topics and those discussions, I invite you to follow the discussion and to read those different documents. They are all available on WIPO website. We have web pages dedicated to the SCT, and this is the link to those web pages. Next slide, please. I mentioned also that we are witnessing the increasing importance of those kinds of design with the HEX system. The HEX system, for those who are not familiar with that, is the international registration system for industrial designs. It is run by WIPO, and it's the efficient way to protect designs in multiple jurisdictions. As of today, there are 74 contracting parties covering 91 countries. Next slide, please. You have here a map where you can see the geographical coverage of the HEX system. And Poland is a member of the HEX system. Next slide, please. I will just provide you with some basic information about the HEX system. It's a system that allows you to file only one international application. You don't need to file several applications, just one, with one office, the International Bureau of WIPO. In that application, you select the contracting parties where you want your design to be protected. For instance, you select the European Union, the United States, or Switzerland. The application must be filed in one language, but you have the choice between French, Spanish, or English. And then you'll pay one set of fees in one currency. It's the Swiss franc. And what is very interesting about this system is that you can, in one application, include up to 100 designs. So that's interesting if you have more than one design to be protected. The International Bureau of WIPO carries out a formal examination of the application. We will check if the identity of the applicant is mentioned, if the fees have been paid, so formal requirements only. And then each IP office of the selected contracting parties will be notified, and they will carry out their own examination according to their national laws. So you have understood the HEX system is an efficient way to get one registration that you can manage centrally through the International Bureau of WIPO. Next slide, please. So the HEX system also reflects the increasing importance of new technological designs. Well, as you know, designs are registered in certain classes, and class 40 is the one for icons, the one used for icons and graphical user interfaces. And in the latest statistic that we have, the 2021 statistic that we have about the HEX system, you can see that now class 14, so the one concerning icons and graphical user interfaces, is the second top classes for all applications filed in 2020. So it's really we are getting more and more international applications with graphical user interfaces and icons. Next slide, please. I will just show you on this slide recent graphical user interfaces and icons that have been registered through the HEX system. You can see there are different examples here in class 14. Next slide, please. Well, if you want to know more about the HEX system, how it works, how an application should be filed, and all the other features of the system, I invite you here as well to consult the pages related to the HEX system that are available on WIPO website. And that's it for my presentation of today. I thank you very much for your attention.